Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today we're going to be talking about the EFA product. This is a product that was really hard to actually make into a physical product because of the nature of a lot of the ingredients that we put into it. So it's kind of a chemical experiment, so to say, going back and forth with the manufacturer, making sure that the actual equipment could produce it. One of the other names we almost called this was Plateau Buster because of some of the effects it has on hormone regulation and whatnot. But we ended up going with EFA because we thought it was simpler for people to understand and recognize. So the reason that we made this was because there's three kind of outcomes that we're looking for the product. First is that we wanted to be able to regulate glucose, blood sugar in people. And what that allows us to do, well, Dr. Getsch will explain a little bit more about why that's a good thing. The second thing is controlling insulin. A lot of people know insulin is the storage hormone. And so being able to harness that for the good things that it does in terms of storing things so that you can actually become more anabolic and create good lean tissue like muscle mass, things like that are good uses for insulin. Whereas storing fat and storing sugar and things like that is what you would not want insulin to be doing. And so being able to control it and use it for good and bad is what this product also does. And then as a tertiary or third thing, it's a decrease in inflammation. And so putting all those into one basket was a Herculean task, but Dr. Getsch was able to do it. So please break down how why glucose regulation, insulin control, and decreased inflammation matters or should matter to someone, and then how the science works out.
+1 for tertiary.
Thanks.
Yes, that's one of my favorite words. You know me well enough, you know the tertiary is one of my favorite words. This is an interesting product. The glucose regulation and insulin control is super important. Not really for fat loss and body composition purposes, which is really easy to market, quite frankly, but it's just damn good for you. It's just damn good for you. It'll keep you alive longer. Like, I'm proud of that. And ALA is one of those ingredients that has been implicated in helping control insulin and blood sugar, and the body composition effects are positive. The mood and behavior benefits are positive because regulated glucose, especially in the brain, really does help regulate behavior and hunger.
Have you ever heard of the term being hangry?
Hangry.
Right. And so if you were hangry, then you're not really nice to be around, and then your spouse says they don't want to see you diet anymore, and then you stop dieting because you want to make your spouse happy, but then when your spouse is happy, then you're sad because so it's this, hopefully we can stop that with this type of
the hunger dementia.
Right.
Like if you get so hungry you can't do simple math, then this helps regulate a lot of that stuff. And that is definitely a 1-2 punch. And the omega-3s in this product also help regulate that primarily and secondarily. The second heavy-hitting aspect of this product is the sources of the fatty acid called gamma-linolenic acid. And it is extremely good at helping in body composition and fat loss because it helps prevent the production of so-called bad eicosanoids, which are molecules that signal for things like inflammation. And inflammation, when they are high enough in the systemic levels, they do activate your immune system in ways that you don't want and does influence behavior in terms of hunger and general quality of life. So that's something that I really did want to harness because it is one of the single most underutilized mechanisms of action that any product has is the anti-inflammation associated with the fat GLA. So that's something that I really wanted to try and emphasize. And lastly, something that is also really heavily underutilized is the fact that fat-soluble vitamins, they need fat. And so this is effectively a fat product. So we were able to formulate and get fat-soluble vitamins in it so that when you do take this product, the vitamins that you get are actually absorbed at higher levels.
Right. And most people so there's two kind of camps. One is that, so if you're in a deficit, which most people who are dieting most people are not really skinny trying to get jacked. The majority of people watching this are trying to lose fat. And so most people are in a deficit, most times are having a very fat controlled diet. And so if they are taking vitamins, a lot of time it's not paired with fat so that they can actually even be absorbed. And then the other camp is people who just aren't even taking vitamins. So either of those camps would be deficient. And so this allows anyone, even if you're in a super restricted diet, to be able to have all the vitamins that you need. And the downstream effects of vitamins are so ubiquitous. It's vitamins. But the thing is most people don't actually absorb them, which is why they feel crappy all the time. And a lot of the downstream metabolic effects of having the vitamins, because they have actually been absorbed because there was fat with them, allows like a really big impact. So really excited about the product, but from an outcome standpoint, this is just one of those ones where like, this is something everyone should take because most people just don't have this stuff, and the downstream effects are kind of unquestioned.
Yeah. I will say honestly that this is a product I feel when I don't take it. Is probably the best way to describe. Yeah. I feel worse when I don't take it.
Right. And you don't know how good you could feel until you felt that way, and then you want that to be the new normal. So I think you will enjoy it, and it's just good to just take this with your morning stuff. We'll get into the FAQs in the next one.